Seniac, Lobsterton. Me, imagining a lobster in a tuxedo. Seniac, I'll call this park Blowhole Park. Me, with a dirty mind. You didn't just. Seniac, names the district Blowhole Park. Me, as an individual. That's what she said. Seniac, we are 100% overfishing these waters. Fish. Come on, kids. We're moving. Seniac, rewrites FishTown history instead of reclaiming land. Me. This is a surprise, but a welcome one. And guys, we are back with another episode of FishTown. Guys, if you haven't enjoyed the series so far, please make sure you smash that like button down below. And if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe so you're notified when that next episode comes out, because we are now starting to ramp up with the expansions. Last episode, we really did expand Humpback Island. Added in Blowhole Park. I know. We expanded the fishing industry as well, and we got a new ferry route going back and forth. Now, for the longest time, I have been kind of hinting that I do need to expand the subway network over to Humpback Island, and that is what we are going to do today. Now, I'm not going to go too crazy because it will potentially ruin some of our other public transport systems. So what I'm going to try and do is complement it rather than overtake it, if that makes sense. So basically, we have two subway routes currently on in FishTown. We have, and they both end here, right? So one, let me just get rid of, hold on. If I go to, wrong button, there we go. Excuse me, there we go. Right, so they both end here, and what I should do right now is actually change the colors of them. We'll make this one red, right? There we go, go away. So they both end here. The red route starts there, stops there, obviously goes up and up and up, and ends up here in this industrial area that we have set up for all of our services. And potentially they could get off and then drive to the park if they want to. It's entirely up to them. And then we have the green route, which currently at the moment starts here and only ends there. Oh, actually, we did expand it, didn't we? And goes there. Now, eventually, when we build up more of this area around here, we'll have another stop in the middle somewhere, and potentially one there. I don't know. We'll see how things go. But they're the two subway routes we got at the minute. Now, this one overtook the bus route because, you know, it does its job. Doesn't really need to do anything. By adding the trams, deleted a lot of the bus routes, we still have two bus routes on the go right now. One that goes directly to the Nature Reserve Park, and the other one which goes directly to the airport. Now, both of those bus routes are going to be under threat very soon. I will be eventually getting rid of them. That's because they do have low capacities, and I'm using like stuff like trams to up the capacities and whatnot. But, you know, for now, we're going to keep them in. On Humpback Island, we have two loops for the trams, which did originally replace the buses. And I've got to be not be careful, but I've got to be mindful about what I'm doing now with my subway line. So I want to extend one of the lines here, if not create a third line. Which starts here because this is going to be the big grand interchange of all the subway routes, and goes directly over to Humpback Island. Because at the moment, the ferry line, and it probably won't be right now, but no, that one's not. Is that one going back? Yeah. At the minute, going back, coming off the island, every boat is filled up. Like, it's 100% full. Look at this sheer backlog of people we got going through. So I don't want to completely replace the ferry lines. I do like it. I just want to complement it to give it an additional route. Like what we did with the additional ferry line we got added in. Is that carrying anybody? It's carrying 9 people from that one. And there's nothing really going on there at the minute. So, that is what I want to do. So we got to strategically place these little subway stops. Now, if you think about it, we got two loops here that cross down the middle. I could, right, and this is what I need to do, is like if I placed a subway line just here, for example, it's away from the ferry stop, that if you're over here, the quickest way to get to it, the island, is on the ferry, rather than walking all the way down there. But it's also further in enough as well that you could potentially jump on to a tram route and go to where you need to get to. So we'll add this one here, and then we'll add the second one just up here. So it's almost either ends of the island centralized. So if you wanted to go to the university here, and you come by boat, you just jump on the tram, it takes you down to it. If you wanted to go to like over here, you could potentially get off at the subway stop there, jump on a tram, and it will take you to it as well. So, you know, you can still utilize the other transport networks without, you know, completely dominating it in one thing. Because if one of them dominates, then pretty much at that point, we're going to have not enough capacity. And that's what we're seeing with the ferry line at that point. But now as we're adding more and more stuff on, it's starting to dwindle a little bit, which is good. Because it allows us then to get more people moving about quicker. If that makes sense. So we got all those set up then. We're just now going to connect it to the main island, which will come directly off here. And let's see. So if I brought this out straight to there, and let's see how this would work. So if I went to there and bent it in as much as possible. Do you see that from the outside? No, you don't. There is a little bit of a lip there, but that's nothing to do with what we did. It's just the entry point to this little bay area. And we're going to create a brand new line. So let's start from over here then. So it stops there, comes up to here, and it ends the route on that side of the station, which is perfect because we can actually see how many people are using it from that interchange and back to here. Now, let's recolor this, and I think I'll pull it a bright blue. There we go. We can see that. Yeah, we can see that with all the different colors that we've currently got going around right now. That makes it really easy to see. And you can see the amount of passengers using it as well. Like, even for the green one, for the all down here, damn, 125? You're crazy. So the most used public transport network at the minute are trams at 1.5k. Then, battling it out for second, there's only one passenger in it. If you don't count tourists, is the boat and the subway, which the subway's now going to overtake the boats, clearly. Because of, we now just hooked up that island. And you know what? Buses aren't too far away from battling it out for third place as well. So that'll be interesting to see how things evolve and change as time now goes on. I'm trying to get rid of this. What's going on, boy? Oh, actually, let me look again. So now we're starting to see the blue passengers changing over, which is a good sign already. And where is, there it is. There's people already waiting already. So it'll be interesting to see how much it deducts from our current transport networks. That would be interesting. That would be. Because it still makes this viable. Because if you want to go over here and over there between the two tourist districts, you know, you just jump on a ferry. It really, isn't it? But it does connect them pretty good. Because you can get off at this. Like, you could, if you're up here, even though you could hit the subway and go the way down, but if you like got the boat over, you could go straight down. And eventually this will have another stop there when we get all that connected up too. But it's pretty good. It ain't too shabby. Right. We'll give it time to do what it's got to do. Then we'll go back and see what is going down at them points. But it ain't too bad. Right then. So let's take a general look at the island. Because I haven't really done it in a while. How is the power situation? Right. We got plenty of power coming in. Ain't got to worry about that too much. Water is not looking great. So we need to potentially up our water supply before, you know, we have some issues. So I'm going to drop 2 more down. There we go. Hook those guys up. And that will increase our available water. And what was I using over here? The Eco Advanced Inland Water Treatment Plants for the sewage. Which is... that's the advanced one. Is that the same thing? It is, isn't it? Yeah. Now I've got to be careful. Let me check pollution. No, it's enough that it's going to be away from that, but I don't want to add any more to the end right there. And when does that put us for the sewage treatment? So it puts us up a bit there, so it gives us a little bit of a breathing space now for both of those. Garbage, Yeah, we could now start thinking about getting an additional one set up. We do have the pollution-free incinerator. But let me see what I can do here with an additional road, because we've got that road coming off there. I don't want to create a double header, so it's going to have to come down to here anyway. And is it enough to throw another one of these in? Is that the large garbage ones? Yeah, large recycling center, which is this one here. So I can squeeze that in just there. There's a little bit of a gap, but I mean, it's not the end of the world, is it really? And how does that affect us then? Oh, that's not garbage. So that puts it up as well, which gives us a little bit of breathing space, which I'm quite happy about. And then this is the schooling. So we've got 2 elementary schools on Humpback Island. We have 1, 2, 3 over here. Okay, high school. We got 1 over there. We could probably do with a secondary high school over here. Well, we could do more elementary schools as well, to be honest with you. So we'll squeeze one over on this side because we don't really have one. And I'll throw it down. Where would be the best place to not destroy too many buildings? Right, there we go. For that one, which ups our capacity just a little bit, but just provides that additional extra. And then we get a high school as well. I think I'm going to place the high school over here, maybe. Yeah. You have nice sea views from the high school. University, it does say it's low, but, you know, come on. We have a capacity of 4,000 here. They could get to it, but that's another thing as well. The subway might bring more people over here because it's just an easy way to kind of commute to the university. So that'd be kind of interesting to see. Right, how is health then? I'm going to sneeze. Hold on. I feel like I'm going to sneeze. I feel like I'm going to sneeze. Your boy is going to sneeze. Nope, it's going. We're all good. So healthcare looks pretty solid. Death care looks good as well. We don't really have any child or elder care right now. We'll eventually get those in the future when I get more stuff all set up. And let me take a look at... There was something else I wanted to take a look at. Yeah. The fire. Yeah, we're going to need another fire. And I take it police as well. It's easy to do it this way. So police. We have the small one there. And then we have a largish one there. And we're going to need another large one over here. So I'm thinking, why don't I replace that small one with a large one? Do the same for the fire right now. Replace that small one with a slightly larger one. That gives you more coverage and more units to respond out to. In terms of healthcare, we only have a small medical center over here. I could replace it with a nice, big, beautiful hospital, which I could squeeze in here instead. We'll keep that one in because it does add that little bit of additional usage. Actually, what if I move this there instead? There we go, because it fits better in there. Yeah, it really does, doesn't it? Right, sweet. And so we've taken care of some of the little bits and bobs there, which isn't too shabby. I think, you know what? We'll have a little fast forward. And let's check out the public transport then. So, a lot of people using this one. Obviously, it's inevitable. And what we got going over here then? So, a lot of people over here still. A lot of them are people wanting to be transported to the other island, which is great to see. And it's also pretty cool to see there's a couple of people over here as well that get on and off. Because that's so far out of the way at the minute. But eventually that will be just as important as everywhere else. So how is that affecting our ferry line then? So we've still got people waiting. Not as many as before. But is that a full boat? No, not quite. But there's definitely still people waiting. That's the main thing. There's always people to get onto the boat. So hasn't killed it off. It's just complemented it enough, which is great. So now we've got people going back and forth from the 2 islands more often, which sparks more stuff. So we might now, yeah, we get started stuff like this happening now, where more students can now come to the university because we've enabled the ability to do so, which will now level it up. It will now move to the next level. Ooh, it's gonna be prestigious before we know it, boys. Damn, son. But I think we need to do some expansions. So Let's finalize this little section here. So, going to the normal roads. Now, I don't want to ruin this. So, I kind of got to be a little bit careful. Come down by 10, go straight across. So, I think what I'll do is... Now, I could get a road going straight across there. How does that... Do you reckon that's a bit too close? Let's take a look. I mean, no, not really. We can put some really nice beachfront properties on there, but I'm gonna now do low density residential because it's coming to the edges of all this. I don't really want to affect it too much. And I think what I need to do is I need to get that mod that allows you to do cul-de-sacs and do a sprawling load of cul-de-sacs right on the edge, which I think will be quite nice. Does it have water over here? No. So let me just quickly set up the water. There we go. And let's place down there all this residential. So let's drag it up to there. We'll drag the strip over here. And just down the side, which is all good. And then we'll do a nice, little section. Of what will potentially become our beachfront properties, and as the land starts to stick out a bit more. Oh, hold on. We then begin to pump it out a bit up to there. So that pretty much adds in like a whole world of new stuff. Which is pretty sweet, mate. Yeah. I mean, at the minute, the view is really just the wind farm. But I will eventually get rid of that. We will do it very soon anyway. So, with now things have ticked along for quite some time, let's take a look then at the public transport network. Now, we probably will guarantee that... Oh no, I was going to say the metro will be #1, but... It's taken only 100 users away from the boats, but it's increased by 500 on the subway. That's crazy. That is definitely a lot, isn't it? And it really hasn't done much. Well, it has. It's took about 200 away from the trams. But come on. What we've lost compared to what we've gained in terms of commuters, we've gained more commuters in general. Still so many people are there for the boats. That's what I like to see. I don't think this one's that busy. Well, you got both sides, because there's really at the minute, there's not really much to go to. Is there? There really isn't. Is that plane okay? It's confused. Alright, goodbye. You're no longer confused. And we really rely on people using this airport moving into the region. Even though we've got the road, so it kind of doesn't really make much difference. The airport is not as powerful as it once was. We've only got a few peeps over here at the moment. At Rockfish Park. We're not even making money. Sad times. Sad times. But yeah, once these kind of upgrade, then it's going to be beautiful. It really is that area. Right, so bringing this down then. If I brought it down to 100... it kind of then gives us some ideas of where we're going with this area. So keeping with the grid format to begin with, down to here, and I think then at some point we need to then take a look at doing some alternative routes. So how much would a bend? I don't think this will look too good up here. But then again, at the same time, it can potentially work. We can't build on water. I mean, it works. not too shabby. That could be a nice feature to an area, couldn't it? It really could. But yeah, it'd be nice to add in some cul-de-sacs and whatnot, and then get some like front set up at this side. But I won't keep this griddy all up here. I'll slowly start to change it slightly, but it kind of gives you an idea of where we could potentially go with it all, which I kind of like the idea of that. Right, commercial's now starting to build up again, and we do have little gaps here and there and everywhere to kind of squeeze some stuff in. So let's go for some high density on this side. And let's paint all this area in just there, which will be quite nice. And then we have this little section over here, which is low density. And oh, is that a chunk there of high density I can squeeze in? Or only a little bit of a strip anyway. And over here, do we have any little areas that we've kind of missed that I haven't realized? I don't think so. I don't think so, but we could definitely do with some like commercial up on this side as well. So now that we have, I don't need this in now, do I? I could actually move it, because now we have this all over here all set up. Oh, slope too steep. We're gonna have to anarchy that in. Oh no, it comes down to there, doesn't it? Right, if I anarchied it in there, and then with the move it tool, push it up to there. See, it works by fitting it in there. And then the solar plant over here, because you now have the road going over here. Oh, let me pause, because obviously power issues. Oh wait, it does need the power. Yeah, okay, we're gonna have to keep the power in for just a moment. There we go. But that road can go straight across to connect up to there. And I think what we'll do with this road, we'll bring it out by 10. And just cut it into there. So we kind of break up the uniformness of it. And then we'll create a nice little... We'll go for this whole strip here being commercial. Because it's near our little subway line there. And at the opposite end, it entices a few more shoppers over there. Which will be great. Do you know, the more I look at this, the more I kind of don't like this. But I really need to change up this whole grid situation anyway. So I think what I'll do, we'll delete it. And by deleting it, we have like a blank canvas again to use. And I'm not going to go for the grid method. I think next episode then, I'll get that cul-de-sac mod. And we'll do some cool stuff with it. Because really, I can't connect it to anywhere because I don't want to cause any traffic issues. So, yeah, we'll do something pretty cool with it in the future. So, that's going to add on to now then our commercial demand that's now decreasing. And where does that put our unemployment? Still 3%, so we still got a fair few peeps. Think about the multiple problems. Is one of them not enough fish available? I don't know how. Because there's plenty of fish available. But do we get some more of these are algae farms, aren't it? Algae, whatever you want to call it. So why don't we squeeze a few more of these in? Fish farm. There we go. There we go, sir. So one there. One there. So an additional 2, which they both provide 41 jobs. So 82 people could be employed. Right, now I gotta make sure I do all this correct. Not really, but it's as good as. It's as good as. So they get that road back in. And we're back in business, boys. We're back in business. So that produces a little bit more. Probably won't be enough. But it definitely produces a bit more. The sneeze has come back. The sneeze has come back, boys. I'm gonna sneeze again. No, I'm good. I'm good. I think I'm good. I don't know if I'm good. Nah, we good. We good. So, what we don't have, right? Now, you know this fish market? We have 2 over here, 1 up there. We don't really have any on Humpback Island. So we have like no markets for them to buy the delicious fish. Now, I think it's a vital and important part to get in. So if I create a road that would cut across... Oh, that's the wrong type of road. Do I do both of these as going straight over? Right, if I did both of those going straight over, then we have a nice little section here to potentially squeeze it. I could either do it there, or I could do it here, backing onto the school, which I think might be the better option. And then that means I'm going to have to move the school, which I'll squeeze the school in. Right, we'll squeeze the school in just there. That will remove those buildings in just a moment. But it kind of... Oh, whoa, calm down. But it kind of then gives us a little... I wouldn't say a bit of industry, but, you know, something a fish market to sell directly to the customers. Which I'll then try and squeeze in some low density commercial just in here. And what I'm going to do as well is I'm going to concrete this whole little area. Because this really is down by the seafront. And trees. Oh, hold on, undo. That's not trees. That's trees. Get rid of the trees. And then that commercial will also slowly start to build up. But it gives us an additional avenue to sell the fish. And we don't have that on Humpback Island at the minute. We don't have that ability to do so. So again, fast forward down. So we've provided then 82 plus 33. That is it 115 jobs, I think? I don't know. I don't know anymore. I can't do math. I can't do math, boys. But eventually when I start building this island, we'll try and get like a power line crossing over there so I can then, you know, initially just move that all together. That's what we'll go with anyway. Right, okay, so public transport now at this point, because it's got slowly getting more people moving onto the island and using the network. We're getting close to 3,000 residents a week using it. Which is good. 335 tourists a week are using it. The boats have made a slight little comeback. The buses have stayed the same. It's like there is no difference, which is crazy. That's good, man. I'm impressed. Your boy is very, very impressed right now. So that's not going to complain about not enough fish. So we've done something good there for once, which I'm very impressed about. And let's take a look at then, boom, some of these stuff then. So, the unique buildings, the transport tower, the official park, because we got this little section just here. I can squeeze some stuff in. The courthouse, maybe. Is this a Humpback Island building or is that a main island building? The courthouse. We definitely need something in here though, some leisure stuff. I don't know whether I should create like an official tax district, whether this should be it. You would want that connection like there somewhere. And I did say I was going to stick a roundabout here, but as episodes are going on, that roundabout is looking less likely. And with the fact that I got a subway system going straight across, do we really need it? I don't think so. So, if I stuck the big courthouse building directly there, as the be-all, you know what? We don't really need, hold on, these power lines. We need these ones. But what I'll do is I'll just cut it straight across to there for now. I mean, that's quite a dramatic building that you're driving up to coming from the industry. The courthouse. It was the courthouse, right? Yeah. And then we got stuff like the tax office and whatnot. So I think this would be ideal to, like, right. I'm gonna have to try. This is gonna take a little bit of maneuvering now, but hold on. 8 by 12, and then we pretend as if we are going. To bend over there, but obviously we're not. I don't know if this is going to work or not. To get said buildings like the tax office. What else looks quite official? The official park. The oppression office. Especially, there's not that many buildings you would want to squeeze in, to be honest. So yeah, I don't think I need to go down that route. By doing that, I think creating like a small park around it would be kind of good enough. But yeah, I do want that tax office anyway. So where's that gone? So we got a tax office here. Optimize the taxes to our liking. What size should I squeeze it on? Do I even squeeze it over here? Is the question. Right, if I put that there, got a nice little tax office just there, which I can build a nice little road around it, or not. Nah, no road. Oh, actually, better idea. Have it facing the end of that road just there, and then maybe the official park at the end of that side just there, right? And then we'll get the path, and if I bend this, I mean, delete that again. Path directly to there. Path directly to there. And we'll bring that one straight up. That one straight up. Alright, move this over a bit. Right, so it all follows the lines around. You see where we're going with this? To there. So we're creating this a beautiful little park in a way. Which is pretty cool. It is pretty cool. That one doesn't look like it fits in quite right. Well, let me delete that. Let me delete this one back a little bit. See, that looks a lot better. So I'm going to take it from this side. There we go. And people are actually walking in it as well. From what I can see, yeah. That's pretty sweet. So, it shows that it does work. And whatnot. It's nice. Not going to get any big boy trees in because that doesn't fit with the theme. So yeah, it don't fit with the theme. So it doesn't look great at the moment. So, a couple little rocks maybe. Nah. That's just ruining it, isn't it? Yeah. It would be ruining doing that kind of stuff. Maybe a nice little fence. Nah, I don't want to fence it off. We'll leave it as that for now then. So we have the nice little official park. We have the tax office on the other end. The courthouse directly in the middle. That's nice. I was going to use that to be a bypass or a roundabout, but with how things are going, I don't need to, really, do I? I really don't. So how are these guys doing over here then, selling fish? 120 fish sold last week, so that's definitely beneficial. That really is. How are these beachfront properties? Right, I think what we should do now then is kind of smoothing it out a bit. There we go, just smoothing out the beach slightly. There we go, so it's not too harsh on the end. Yeah, and just let that now, because we'll get a little bit of flooding happening. But that should, it should be quite nice. There's a little bit more of a drop now to it, a gradual decline, rather than being right on the edge. So it looks a little bit better. I like that idea. And we had let me get to that leisure overview. Which one is it again? I always forget which one's leisure. It's not you. There we go. We have nothing around here, so we need some parks and stuff. So forget the generic stuff. A large tennis club might be a bit too big for this area, so I'll go for like a normal sized tennis club, or potentially the track stuff. Has a really big range, that does. So if I squeeze that in there, we got the track and field club just there. We also have a basketball court I can squeeze in, which I'll go just there, which is going to cause so many upgrades to the buildings around, which you can already see them starting to upgrade right now as we speak, which increases the population in general. Looks a bit weird, doesn't it? I feel like it needs to be elevated slightly. I forget, we're like, you know, where it's like low. It's angled, if that makes sense. No, angled. There's a gradient, if that makes sense, boys. Like, it's staggered, and you can really tell by how these cars are parking. That is, the handbrakes in those cars must be OP for them not to fall or slide off. I find that hilarious. But yeah, it's causing all the upgrades. So the houses will hopefully just keep upgrading and reach max level, which thus increases the population, which is what I'm more excited about than anything else. This will look really good. If you don't touch it, it doesn't look amazing at the minute. But as time goes on, when I get all this area built up as well, it'll be like this little park. We can actually do more trees in this little park. Right, hold on. On a couple of these trees, because then it'll become like almost the only green bit on the island. So technically, you know, you start to naturally look good itself. Of the brush size a bit. So yeah, it's just one of those things. Takes a little bit of time. But they're living in the official park over here right now anyway. Yeah, boy. And we're getting tourists over here as well. So it's an additional little boost as well, isn't it? Well, how's the area looking right now? It's starting to look really nice, these little suburb areas. I do like them. I do like them a lot. Humpback Island, it's been a slight little death wave. I think we're getting it on both sides, aren't we? Which, when it comes to death care, we have the capacity for it. And the number is slowly coming... Oh, is it coming down? No, it's increasing slightly. It's increasing. And it's coming down, but then it increases. Then it increases even more. Then it increases even more. Oh my god, okay, right. I feel like that's going up quite a bit. So, we'll get a couple more in then. Yeah, that's definitely increasing quite a lot. I've got one there and there. A little double over on this side. And we should get some down here somewhere. Or maybe not. Where would be a good little section? Right, squeeze another one just here. Just on the corner. They're just normal crematorians, not the advanced or better ones. And the number... Okay, the number is the lowest I've seen it at this point, so... Doing something, right? We're doing something right there, guys. The track and field stadium. There's one more than it's lost, which I'm really impressed about. And the FishTown University, FU, got plenty of students coming in, which is great to see as well. That really is good to see. That little commercial strip is now up and running, which would see more people. 98 people use that station. How many use this one? 282. I bet you there's like close to 1,000 on this one. 703. Damn, boy. That is crazy. But it's a nice little interchange here to the tram as well, which is great. Well, that commercial's filled in around here. Starting to see a lot more hustle and bustle right now, boys. A lot more hustle and the bustle. But yeah, not too shabby. So, with that done then, I think we can now potentially think about, you know, making some more moves. Potentially working on this island. I don't know, we'll see how things go. But it would be kind of interesting to start bumping up the population a little bit more at this point. So that would be a good thing to do. I might make this island not all high density, but try and not jam pack it, but try and get a high population on the island. Or I might just follow the theme. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. If you want to give me a name for this island too, let me know in the comments too. But until next time, guys, I'll see you all soon. So, goodbye.